lights or skyscrapers, when the sound of hooves echoed through dusty streets and the heart of America beat in wooden towns and endless plains. These aren't just photographs, they're frozen whispers of a country finding itself, raw, young, and full of fire. From the crowded saloons of Dodge City to the quiet prayer of a pioneer family under the Nebraska sky, every frame tells the story of a nation built on grit, hope, and unbreakable spirit. So close your eyes, if you dare, and let the past unfold before you. The streets of New York once echoed with the rattle of iron wheels and the neighs of tired horses. It's the turn of the century, and Longacre Square, not yet called Times Square, is alive with motion. Carriages roll past shop fronts, steam rises from street grates, and men tip their hats as they cross muddy roads. Within just a few short years, this place will transform into the glittering heart of entertainment, Times Square, when the New York Times moves in and forever brands the square with its name. But here, in these rare photographs, the noise feels different. It's the hum of a city becoming the capital of a new century. Far from New York, under a burning California sun, 20 mules strain against their harnesses, dragging heavy wagons filled with borax across Death Valley. 165 miles of sand and silence, a trek through hell itself, all for the promise of industry. The drivers' faces are hidden behind dust and determination, men hardened by the land they dared to cross. In Oregon, a train creaks across a trembling wooden bridge, logs stacked high above deep gorges. The pioneers aboard sit casually, unaware that one wrong move could send everything tumbling. This is the West in its rawest form, courage mixed with madness. Before yellow school buses ever existed, children in Kentucky clambered into wooden wagons pulled by horses. They laughed, they sang, they froze in the winter winds on their way to lessons about reading and writing, lessons that would someday shape the future of America. Then, the laughter stops. San Francisco burns. In the chaos after the 1906 earthquake, families clutch what little they have left, watching fire devour the homes they built with their own hands. The ground itself had turned against them, and yet, through smoke and ruin, people stood together, rebuilding from ash, one brick at a time. Up north in Alaska, a tent flaps in the wind at sheep camp. Courtney's little post office and store serve men chasing gold, tired, desperate, but hopeful. Each customer's eyes carry the same gleam, a reflection of the frozen rivers and golden dreams ahead. Under a vast Nebraska sky, a family stands proudly before their sod house, walls made of earth, hearts made of steel. Their windmill turns lazily behind them, whispering the rhythm of survival. They didn't have much, but they had the land. And in those days, that was everything. In New York City, a woman wrapped in a thick coat rings a small brass bell for the Salvation Army. Snow falls gently around her as she raises funds for the poor. Behind every coin dropped into her bucket lies a story of struggle, of faith, of hope, in a city that never really slept. Further south, in New Orleans, St. Charles Avenue bustles with life. Horse-drawn carriages glide between hotels, music spills from taverns, and the scent of gumbo drifts through the air. Here, the city hums with a rhythm all its own, a blend of French, African, and American souls dancing together in the humid air. Time moves forward, and in 1924, Ruth Malcolmson, only 18, wins the crown of Miss America. She stands in shimmering fabric, smiling shyly beneath the Atlantic city lights, the image of a modern woman in a nation chasing dreams. Back in Texas, a row of men in wide-brimmed hats pose before a grocery store. The Texas Rangers, half lawmen, half legends. They were both feared and admired, the frontier's thin line between order and chaos. Books would turn them into heroes. Reality made them survivors. But not all stories shine. In the coal towns of Pennsylvania, soot-covered boys as young as 8 pick through black dust, breaking stones to earn pennies. Their small hands do a man's work, their childhood stolen by the hunger of industry. Every cough, every scar, every stare toward the camera tells the same truth. Progress came with a cost. In Arizona, freight wagons rumble through Silver King, mules snorting under the weight of ore. Men wipe sweat from their brows as dust clouds rise behind them, painting the sunset gold. And on a bridge leading to Deadwood, stagecoaches creak and sway, men tipping their hats, unaware they're waving across centuries to us. The drawbridge on 12th Street in Chicago rises slowly in 1900, a symbol of progress and ambition. Ships drift beneath, their decks stacked with timber and steel, the lifeblood of a city climbing toward the future. Crowds lean over the railings, watching with pride, unaware that they are standing at the edge of a new century. In New York, a fire beneath Broadway sends smoke curling into the winter air. It's 1915, and hundreds gather above the subway to watch firefighters battle the blaze. Even through chaos, the city pulses with life, stubborn, restless, and unstoppable. Far to the west, Dodge City, Kansas, still clings to its Wild West roots. Cowboys lean against wooden posts, trading stories as dust swirls at their boots. It's a town built on grit, gunpowder, and endless horizons, where legends were born and law came late. A young messenger in Nashville grips the handlebars of his bicycle, ready to deliver letters across the growing city. The invention of the pedal changed everything, from deliveries to dreams. For the first time, distance felt conquerable. In rural Texas, a one-room schoolhouse stands proud beneath an open sky. Dozens of children crowd together for a photograph, their eyes bright, their clothes simple. Here, learning wasn't just a privilege, it was a promise to the next generation. Downtown St. Louis bustles as a young newsboy shouts headlines on a Saturday afternoon. Ink stains his fingers, his voice echoes through the street, a small but vital heartbeat in the rhythm of a growing nation. But not far from those busy cities, a group of African Americans gather in Virginia in 1862, the Civil War still raging. Their faces reflect both hope and fear as they wait under a gray sky, uncertain of what freedom will truly mean. To Union forces, they are contrabands. To history, they are the beginning of something far greater, the rebirth of a people once bound in chains. In Texas, a family poses stiffly in front of their home in 1918. The camera lens of the time demanded patience, no smiles, no movement, just stillness. But behind those solemn eyes lies endurance, a quiet strength that built the backbone of America. Deep in the redwoods of California, lumberjacks stand beside fallen sequoias, so massive they seem otherworldly. The men look small, almost fragile, against the giants they have felled. It's a portrait of man's ambition, and the price nature paid for it. Delaware Avenue, 1908. Smoke and steam wrap the city in a soft haze. Carriage bells ring, streetcars rumble, and vendors call out their prices. It's the soundtrack of progress, the heartbeat of an era when America was learning how to move faster than ever before. High in the Rocky Mountains, a family from the sheep-eater tribe sits beside their tent. They've hunted wild sheep for generations, calling Yellowstone their eternal home. But soon, soldiers from the Vancouver barracks will march through these valleys, pushing tribes from the lands they had known since time began. The mountains remember, even if history tries to forget. In 1864, on a street in Atlanta, a black Union soldier rests before a building marked Auction and Sales of Negroes. The war may be ending, but the scars are fresh. Behind that single photograph lies centuries of pain and the first fragile steps toward freedom. On the Great Plains, a taxidermy shop displays the heads of bison, trophies of a frontier that was fading fast. For Native American tribes, the bison had been life itself, food, shelter, spirit. Now, the Great Plains grew quieter, the herds nearly gone, and the wind carried only memory. In New York, 1908, snow falls heavy. Men with shovels and horse-drawn carts clear the streets one scoop at a time. No machines, no shortcuts. Just human endurance under a white sky. A family in Kansas rides through that same snow in a covered wagon. A young boy clutches a rifle, not a toy, but protection. Here, childhood came second to survival. Women in Mississippi toil in cotton mills, fingers raw from endless work. A miner's widow stands with her children in West Virginia, faces pale, grief silent but heavy. And somewhere in South Dakota, 3 men pan for gold in an icy creek, chasing luck in the shimmer of water. Hands once bound in chains now move with practiced rhythm, pulling cotton in South Carolina. Freedom had come, but life was still hard, a reminder that liberty is only the first step toward dignity. In Tennessee, 2 men in crisp uniforms stand beside an early Coca-Cola delivery truck, a symbol of change on wheels. From there, history speeds forward. Lincoln surveys the battlefield of Antietam, the Civil War raging around him. Pioneers push westward through dust and wind, a wagon creaking under the weight of everything they own. Snow falls again in Massachusetts. Blizzards strike New York. Yet through it all, families laugh, dream, and rebuild. By 1925, immigrants crowd the docks of Ellis Island, staring across the water at a skyline that seems to glow with promise. They came from every corner of the world, carrying nothing but hope, each one chasing the same dream, a new beginning. That dream, fragile, flawed, and fierce, built the America we know today. And within these rare photographs, the ghosts of that dream still breathe, whispering stories of struggle,